That was kind of amazing. Let's get the background off. Oh, look, it's me. Hi, everybody. Let's get, yes, that should be good. Sweet. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome on in. Excited to see y'all here. Gonna turn the music back on. This is my favorite one. And then add in the new banner that I was making. And then got distracted. But yeah, I am a big fan of the y'all. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to add. All right. Well, on that note, hi, y'all. Welcome to Open Source Week. I am super, super excited for this stream and this series of streams, actually, that I will be running throughout Global Hack Week. This week, I suppose. It's mostly a couple of days because your girl's going on vacation, and that's awesome. So chat, if you can hear me, love some reactions, make sure that, I sound okay, everything's smooth sailing pretty much, and we're not having any issues. If so, just, give me any indication. That'd be super, super helpful. Outside of that, we'll wait for a couple minutes, make sure that, y'all can hear me okay. Beautiful. Awesome. That's what I love to hear. Thank y'all so much. But yeah, so to give a brief introduction to myself, my name is Kari. I am a coach here at Major League Hacking. This is one of my, I've done a couple of Global Hack Weeks now, done a variety of different topics, AI, ML, Web3, games come to mind from some of the topics that we have done in the past that I participated in. Kind of took a break for the summer to, focus on my internship and do things like that. But we're back in full swing. Here we are for Global Hack Week September. My gosh, it's not September, it's October. It's really cold here where I'm at right now. I am freezing. I've got a candle, blankets on, heaters on, but we're going to have a great stream. So what we're going to do today for everyone who might not be super familiar or might have not gotten a chance to read the description or is like, Kari, what are we going to be doing today? We are going to be taking a look at Swift, which is an open source programming language that supports a wide variety of different tools. Most notably, it can be used for developing native iOS, watchOS, tvOS, macOS applications. So that's, I think, the most common use case that, the average user might think of. It's kind of the successor to Objective-C in some regards, but it's a really, really fun language to use as a programmer. And so for those of you who are, just out of curiosity, who here is joining Global Hack Week for the first time? And you're welcome to just type in your responses. If so, welcome. I'm so excited that you're here. But for those of you who, might be joining for the first time, I build a lot of mobile apps, mainly iOS and Android apps. Sometimes I dabble in some cross-platform things. Sometimes I do something fun, like we did a Wordle game on Watch for one of my streams. But so for I kind of, every stream that I like to do tends to somehow involve mobile, I'm gonna be real. Unless we just get so lost and deviate and make a web app. That did happen in 1 month, which was really funny. But so I thought it would be a great time to take a look at, some of the, a large open source language that supports not only mobile apps, but also a host of Apple ecosystems, and also way more than just that. So, oh my goodness, so many first timers. Beautiful. I am very happy to see y'all here. Global Hack Week. Oh, hello. Global Hack Week is so fun for me because it's a great way for me. Hello. It's a great way for me to explore things that I'm passionate about, and instead of, doing it in my, you can see my little room here, right? Instead of doing it in my room, sitting on my little thing, typing away, right? I get to share it with someone else. And there's so many of you here today, which I'm super excited about, that get to tune in with me. And that's awesome. All right, I am gonna close out of some magical things. including but not limited to the actual like Twitch tab that I had of myself, because that's a little weird, but I want to make sure everything was good. And we're gonna share this little tab. Aha! So, this is a fun little, no we're not, we can't see it yet. Aha! So, welcome. This is the Apple GitHub. For those of you who might not know, which is totally okay, Apple hosts a lot of their internal and externally available code bases on GitHub. First with open source projects, naturally these are publicly accessible, but also we have internal tools, internal things and builds that might be going on under the hood. So, super fun little GitHub page here that we have. And this is every single public Apple repository. There's 238 of them. And the reason why we're going to be looking at Apple is because they are the owners of Swift. So as you can see here, some of the repositories that we have, we've got Swift, Swift syntax, Swift package manager, Swift testing, Swift doc.c, Open API generator, and so on. So these are some of the projects. Naturally, we're talking about a code base for a programming language, so is pretty big. And so splitting it up and generally diving, words are hard. Generally diving into things on smaller scales can sometimes help. Naturally, some of it is going to have to be built in these big repositories with, 745 polls, 5,000 plus issues, and, apparently it's in C++, which actually I didn't know, and like 10,000 forks. So, but we've got these small repositories, say like Swift Neo, which, is not small by any means. I mean, we can take a look at it out of curiosity, right? If we take a look at Swift Neo, like, it's still a massive repository with very thorough documentation, which is lovely, but also lots of code, almost 3,000 commits, and 124 actual releases, and 172 contributors. So we're talking about big code, which is good. Big code is fun. We love challenging projects and teaching ourselves cool new things. But going back to the tab we were looking at earlier, we're going to start off with good old-fashioned Swift. Main library. Goal here is to get all of us settled into maybe what Swift is. Oh, could you increase the font, please? It's so small. Yes, I am going to try my best. Let's try that. Is that better? That is very important. And thanks for bringing it up. Is that... I feel like I tried to increase it by 15%. So, for those of you who don't know, I don't think anyone really knows this because it's not like I shared it publicly, but I keep really, really tiny font on everything. Fun fact about Kari is that she has more than we're talking about the third person. I have more than perfect vision with my contacts and not actually, but I do have more than perfect vision, which means sometimes I keep my font really, really small and people are like, how can you read that? But anyway, fun fact about moi. We'll go back to taking a look at this guy. But yeah, we'll just jump into good old Swift here, right? So you can see here, as we mentioned, it's run by Little Apple. It's a public repository. This means that, even if I didn't have a GitHub account, although I do, there she is. Even if I didn't have a GitHub account, it's public. I can see it. My mom can see it. My siblings can see it, so on and so forth. In here, out of curiosity, what is everyone's familiarity maybe with GitHub and with Swift? Just so I can get like a general gauge of kind of what to talk about, if that might help. Just so I know what to really focus on. But I'll try and give a general overview while I wait for a quick sec for responses, because I can start off with this beautiful, beautiful documentation tab about Swift. So as you can see here, I tried to give a brief overview of what Swift was at the beginning. Oh, I'm familiar with Git in general, never used Swift though. Great. I'm excited. We're going to have a fun time learning about it. Swift is a general-purpose programming language that's approachable for newcomers and powerful for experts. It is fast, modern, safe, and a joy to write. No bias, but Swift was my first programming language. It is, but it's also a really cool programming language. No bias, like I said. It was my first programming language. I love Swift. I have a very soft spot in my heart for it. Like I mentioned, I make a lot of mobile apps, wearables, and yes. Ooh, I can print hello world in Swift, and that's about it. Nice. Well, I would say that's a great start. And then, can you program in Swift out of iOS? This is a fantastic question. So actually, we have this handy dandy little documentation that tells us a tons of different things. Oh, and also for questions, I should probably mention this now before I forget, but you can just drop questions in the chat at any time. I'm looking at chat the whole time while we're going. So, like, you don't have to worry about being like, oh no, Kari's not going to see my comment because she's busy. Don't worry, I'm watching. I'm making sure we're all set and all that. So there we go. I'm gonna try and set it up so I can look at both. There we go. But there you go. Use cases of Swift. We've got Apple platforms, programming language optimized when running on iOS, macOS, and other Apple platforms. Wide variety of networks and APIs. Make applications developed for these platforms unique and fun. And then cross-platform command line tools. Which is, argument parsers, package ecosystems, and that those can be developed outside of iOS. And then also server and networking, which brings up Swift and I/O, which I talked about earlier. So there you go. But then we go. Let's see more responses too. I know what they are, but I'm terrible with pull and push requests. Ugh, that's so true. I'm new to Swift. I thought this was going to be like a Taylor Swift reference. Unfortunately, I hate to disappoint. Not today. However, I am looking for rave reviews of the Taylor Swift Eras Tour movie concert movie. However you would say it. I'm going to go see it sometime soon, which should be really fun. I know, right? I've got fantastic insight. But yeah, so you might be asking, okay, but like this is a huge programming language. It, like powers tons of different apps. What are we even doing? Like, how do I even begin? So we've got getting involved, and they've got a beautiful little documentation about how to get involved. First off, this is really important. Contributing doesn't just mean writing code or submitting pull requests. There are many different ways for you to get involved, including answering questions on the forums, reporting or triaging bugs, and participating in the Swift evolution process. We ask that you first learn what's expected of anyone who participates in the project by reading the community overview. We'll take a look at that. And you should also know how to build and run Swift from the repository as described in source code. So let's go ahead and get those link opens. We'll start here. Community overview. All right. How the Swift community is organized so we can work together to add new capabilities. Let's see. Develop in the open. Directory of form categories and email instructions are in the forum section. Source code can be found at GitHub. And the bug tracking system is maintained in GitHub issues. Should adhere to the code of conduct. That makes sense. Community structure. Project lead appoints technical leaders from the community. Apple Inc. is the project lead and interacts with the community through its representatives. That makes sense. Core team is a small group responsible for strategic direction and oversight of the Swift project. Code owner is the individual responsible for a specific area of the Swift codebase. Committer is anyone that has commit access to the Swift codebase. Contributor is anyone that contributes a patch or helps with code review. Let's think here. What is... Let me see. I'm going to change the ticker to say X any question in the chat. And we already have a great question. What are some of the coolest apps with Swift? Flappy Bird. I actually don't know what language Flappy Bird was made to use Flappy Bird. My personal favorite for apps that use Swift, and I am hoping I'm right, it's Yes, it's this beauty. I'm gonna share it for you. This I am obsessed with. This is Flighty. Flighty is a flight tracking app for those on the move. As coaches, we're kind of all over the place sometimes, and we get zoomed around to different fun events. So I get a lot of really good notifications about, my flight's on time. It's almost time to check in, which is really important if you're flying a lot of Southwest. You know what I mean? Oh, my flight's delayed, and they already know it's going to be delayed, and they don't anticipate it getting quicker anytime soon. Let me just go ahead and wait for that. Predicting delays. So that's really fun. Power through clarity. So things like that. Yeah, it does. At least with almost every airline I've tried, including Southwest, Delta, American, United, WestJet, Icelandic Air, and Finnair. Those are all the airlines I can confirm work because I've used them. So it's awesome. And the really cool part about this one too, this app specifically, is that it connects, like say you're on a flight and you know how they have the in-flight Wi-Fi that you pay for, or like that you have to pay for sometimes, like it's like, I don't know, like however much money, but like you can like browse the like website of the airline and like see the drink coupon and like watch a free movie. It actually connects to the in-flight Wi-Fi in some magic. I don't have no idea how it works, but it's super cool. And it allows you to do real-time flight tracking, even though you are, in the air. So sometimes I'll like know as quickly as we like see it that, oh shoot, there's a delay. Oh, we have a diversion. Oh, something weird is happening. So it's like instant, which is really cool. I am obsessed with this one. And look, it's 3 people, which is awesome. So yeah, this is, I think, my favorite app that I know for a fact was made. It's iOS only, so I know for a fact it was utilizing a lot of the cool iOS Swift tools. So a lot of like the internal apps on your phone have different code bases. Some of them are older, so they're still in older languages, but there's a decent amount of transitions to move stuff into Swift and Swift UI. So nice. Going back to our community overview here. So let's talk a little bit about the difference between a committer and a contributor, because these two words sound kind of familiar to me when I was first learning about open source. So I want to focus on them a little bit. So we have the committer, which it says is anyone that has commit access to the Swift codebase. So if we take a look at the Swift codebase and we take a look at someone's pull request, we'll go ahead and look at this one. You can see here that this person is a contributor. They made some commits into this branch that they had, some changes in files, and generally some fixes, right? Now, for commit access, you would have to have code owner reviews required, which are people that are responsible for that code specifically, right? So here it's Apple Swift 5 branch managers. That's the way that they are referred to. And then even like me right now, say, right, I can't click, oh, like, yeah, this code looks fine. Let's just click on it, right? It'll be fine. Because first of all, we're being blocked by the like permission issues, like, and the fact that this request doesn't have enough approvals. But B, also, I'm some random person, right? I'm Kari from MLH. I'm not, some full-time Swift maintainer, not affiliated with any of this stuff. So let's say, for example, we take a look at a request like this, and we have the modified logic, and it's saying a lot of things about tests. And now, there you go. This branch has no conflict with the base branch. Only those with write access to this repository can merge pull requests. So that would be someone that actually can merge this pull request into main from this branch of this open source contributor. So that's the difference between a contributor, a committer, and a code owner. So a committer is someone who can click a little button that shows up here that says merge, at least in the case of Apple here. A contributor is anyone that has written some code or some change to this documentation, like this person right here, or like us, hopefully, at the end of the 3 streams we've got planned. And then the code owner is the person who, in this case, it was this person, said, okay, this looks good. I like it. Let's stick with it. And that is kind of the difference there. So they have permissions to review in this case. So that's that. Work groups are just kind of divisions, subdivisions with, important things that might need to happen. Hello. Different things that might need to happen. Different things that might need to be divided further, right? Language steering, documentation, C++ interoperability, which I don't know how recently it was announced, but I think it's relatively new, right? And the people that manage this website that we're reading right now, beautiful little website. Most importantly, everyone that uses Swift is a valued member of our extended community. Aww. And then you have project leads, core team, language steering group, code owners. So there you go. And then it explains how to communicate through the Swift forums, which we'll take a look at. So these are Swift forums where they make announcements, talk about development, using Swift related projects like Swift.io. I should increase the font for this. Aha! Swift.io and Crypto Swift and, for example, Alamo Fire, right? I guess Crypto Swift and Crypt Swifto are different. Oh my god, Crypto Swift and Swift Crypto are different, which I find kind of funny. I want to learn more about that. Okay, so it's standard and secure cryptographic algorithms in Swift. And this is a cross-platform package that provides an open source implementation of the platform, independent crypto APIs from Apple's CryptoKit library. Interesting, so they are actually different. That's very cool. Great question. How do they manage 700 plus pull requests? So as we mentioned, as we saw here, they have a system in place that kind of deals with different aspects of it, right? You have one representative who's like the project lead, and then the core team who is various people who are kind of in charge of supporting and bringing different leadership to lead Swift moving forward. And then you have a wide variety of other groups, and then you have the code owners. So depending on what part of the code the change happens in, someone else will be responsible for it. And the way that they manage the pull request is that each pull request has to be connected to a specific issue. So as you can see here, there's 8,103 closed issues. Yay! And 6,044 open issues. Yay! So let's say we have an issue that's one that likely has a pull request here. So you can see there's some milestones and assignee. You can see there's one that has a pull request here. So we'll take a look at this issue. It says the source, request index source, right? Some details about it. In case this is a desirable improvement, I already implemented this in a PR, and it's 69076, right? So you can click on the PR, and you can see that they added 4 different commits with 10 different file changes and requested reviews from these 4 people who are the code owners, right? So even though there's way more code owners than just these 4 people in all of Swift, we can see that, for example, when you look at a different, that's a bug filed by someone, but let's take another one with an open PR. And see, this one has 3 completely different people than these four, right? So it's different people that are in charge of looking at the different requests, and it's a part of the job. So they are then, in charge of giving feedback like this. Let's do this instead of this, and then why wouldn't you want to do this, right? And now it's in part of, the original contributor who we can see. Oh, we can't see. We can't see. I've been showing you this screen and you haven't been able to see it. I love when that happens. Anyway, so as you can see here, this person has 4 different individuals who are in charge of this section of the code base, and one of them responded with some initial thoughts and general improvements that they have in mind for this, right? Once those reviews have been requested, the checks run, and generally help out, make sure everything looks good, then we can go ahead and merge it in, right? This time they requested a review. Looks like for this part you don't have to request a review, maybe potentially because this person is a code collaborator, whatever the word is for the one that does the few things, that has commit access. There's potential that he doesn't need to approve, but generally it's good decorum to have multiple people looking at it, right? So first way that they do it is everything's connected really nicely, right? So one person's looking at something, another person is looking at something. That helps. The other thing that helps is, having specific people in charge of specific parts of the code. They're very good at the very few things that they look at. They can figure out, oh, this is a good change. Oh, I don't like this change. Let's talk about how we can make it better. And the whole purpose behind this community and behind it being open source is that, there's more power to fix these issues. But then the people who have experience can also provide the best direction. They don't have the bandwidth to fix all 6,000 of these issues. So we kind of band together, have a little community of fixing this issue. They have more than 400 branches. They indeed do, as you can see. And it's funny because normally you can't create tons of branches. You've got, lots of active branches here that can be thousands of commits behind that have open pull requests, closed pull requests, that maybe failed some checks and things like that. But when you naturally have this many people working on it, also, at least in the case of a big corporation, sometimes it makes sense to have branches called release 510, release 5.9. If we want to push things out, we don't want to be adding a new change to a brand new release. Or we don't want to be adding a change to a release that's going to go out to the public tomorrow, just in case something goes wrong, we have different stale branches here. They're like, oh, we merged this request. Someone probably should have deleted it, but it's 121,364 commits behind the main branch. Yes, could someone hypothetically delete this branch? Absolutely. Is it, is there someone going to be going around cleaning up all of GitHub? Probably not. But at the very least, it explains some of the branches here. And also, as mentioned, you have, 10,000 forks, right? So all of these people who don't have the permission to create a branch, because I don't, can create a fork instead. And there's stars. Hello. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Or good afternoon, or good evening. Wherever you are in the world today, wherever you're tuning in from. But let's go back to, we've been walking through the documentation. Getting involved. Yes. Design, code, and troubleshoot. We'll go through these 3. We'll go ahead and click on them, and we'll go through them later. For now, let's go to the Swift forums. We looked through the Swift forums really quickly, right? We've got some tabs here about using Swift. So say, for example, you're trying to, build something. This can be a great resource, like best way to write a parser in Swift, or using API notes. Read text file line by line. Or things like that you might need. Xcode and Swift Package Manager, multi-threading, a lot of really insightful questions for people that have used Swift and that generally need help and also are willing to provide it. So that's awesome. There's also the Community Showcase, which allows you to see different things that people are working on, which is really fun. Article about Swift on Windows, for example. Sorry, fixing my sock. But yeah, scalable multi-package Swift documentation. So things like that they've built. And they talk through that and what they've done, which is awesome. But going back, let's talk about the source code. Oh, really? I closed the tab. So I have to, okay, source code, share. Thank you. Okay, as you can see here, the source code for Swift is divided into several open source repositories, all of which are hosted on GitHub, like we've established. Swift is the main repository, which contains the source code for the Swift compiler, which is important, standard library, and source kit. And Swift Evolution has all the documents related to the continued evolution of Swift, including goals for upcoming releases, proposals for changes to and extensions of Swift. There's core libraries like XCTest, Foundation, and libdispatch. Foundation is like when you first, would start like a hello world playground in something like Swift, and then it would likely import Foundation. So you have access to lovely little things like print statements. Then you have Package Manager, which is a fun little tool to help you import different packages and dependencies, tools support, Xcode Playground, syntax, formatting, and all of these lovely little things. But if we click on one of these, it should, hopefully, yes, it should, take us to the website directly. So this is a swift.org website, which also has its own issues and different generally things that are bugs or enhancements or documentation or things like that. So you can, for example, click on this. This one already has a pull request out, but let's say this one. All right, out of the first standalone documentation article is swift.org, like that, and then made a pull request and merged it. Just like that. There it is. Someone approved it, someone took a look, went ahead and submitted issue 398 to cover it and generally took care of it, and then deleted the branch and merged it into main, just like that. So that's kind of walking you through maybe what like a Swift adjacent request would be like, right? This person said update link from go further section of getting started page and add a bit of CSS to display author info correctly. Should probably move to an article layout that encapsulates this. Requested review, mentioned, hey, I'm not going to be very available. Add another comment, someone approved it, talked through some changes, ran the test, which this is a cool way to run the test, but that's besides the point, and then merged it in, added different commits that reference this, and generally deleted the branch. So yeah, that's so like we mentioned, there's no good or bad way. I did the thing again where I closed the tab. Well, you get to look at my beautiful face. What I'm saying though is that there's no good or bad way to contribute to open source, right? There is no bad Swift contribution. We're not like, ooh, nah. No, like this isn't good enough because we're not writing complex code. Doesn't matter. The whole point is to have different contributions that people can provide. So yeah, we've got, oh yes, contributing. This is what we want to look at. So everyone's welcome. One of the most important ways in which you can support is answering questions on the forums, which even you, as watching this stream right now, can help and answer questions on the forums. What Whether you're a newcomer understanding the language feature or troubleshooting an edge case with a seasoned developer, your knowledge and experience of Swift can go a long way to help others. And I forgot to share my screen. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. And then we have reporting bugs. Reporting bugs is a great way for anyone to help improve Swift. The open source Swift project uses GitHub issues for tracking bugs. Those are these guys. No, we're still not sharing my screen. Those are these guys here, issues. Go back. If a bug can be reproduced only with an Xcode project or playground, or if the bug is associated with an Apple NDA, please file a report to Apple's bug reporter instead. Which looks like that, apparently. No, it looks like this. There we go. When opening an issue, please include the following: a concise description of the problem, a reproducible test case, and a description of the environment that reproduces the problem. Because Swift is under very active development, we receive a lot of bug reports. Before opening a new issue, take a moment to browse our existing issues to reduce the chances of reporting a duplicate. Before filing an issue requesting a new language feature, see the Swift evolution process section. Then triaging bugs is ensuring that bugs are reproducible, small, and unique, so they can actually be fixed. There are a number of things you can do to help triage the bugs, reproduce the bugs, reduce the bug, and eliminate duplicate bugs. So, again, if you can't reproduce the bug, try to figure out why. Get in touch with the submitter if you need more information. Once a bug can be reproduced, try to reduce it to as little code as possible. Then go ahead and, reasoning about a sample that reproduces a bug in just a few lines of Swift code is easier than reasoning about a longer sample, which is very fair, right? Like, as we saw, there's a giant code base, right? Some 7 or 8 different people might be in charge of something as small as 100 lines of code. But in reality, the smaller we can get the piece, the better off we are. And then eliminating duplicate bugs. Let's say, we whittle down these 2 common issues that we're seeing, or maybe completely different issues. We whittle down 2 different issues to the exact same tiny problem. Well, they're the exact same tiny problem now. It doesn't matter how they really reflect on the user if the underlying problem is the same. We can always address, if the new underlying problem comes up, or if we still experience the issue after the underlying problem has been fixed, we can always address that. But at this point, those are duplicates, and we can go ahead and take care of them with 1 request. So you also have contributions to the website, the community blog post. You can learn more about contributing to it and how to submit the blog post. Then you can participate in the evolution section of the Swift forums. You can see Swift evolution review schedule for current and upcoming reviews. So you have different things that all of these people go ahead and review. So Swift SDKs for cross-compilation, on actors and initialization, packager editor commands, tuples conform to equatable, comparable, and hashable, generic math functions, or for example, ones that are implemented. Let's see if there's one that I recognize off the top of my head. Observation. Non-copyable structs and enums. That one is a cool new thing. If and switch expressions, we can see this, for example. Right, this is what a proposal looks like for a Swift thing. So if we have if and switch expressions, we've got a proposal that has a number by these authors. It has a manager. Here's what happened to it. Here's where it happened. Pitch, review, acceptance. So this proposal introduces the ability to use if and switch statements as expressions for the purpose of returning values, declaring variables, and assigning, right? Motivation. So for example, it's walking through some cases that might happen where this would be useful. So that's great. And then detailed design, like this is very well made, right? This is a very intense, not necessarily intense, but it's like a well thought out document. me while I reshare for like the 6th time the screen that I accidentally keep closing. We're gonna take a water break. Water's great. We love water. Hey, hydration is very important, and also I keep closing the screen, so I might as well take advantage. Every time I close the screen now, I'm gonna remember to drink water. We'll do that. It's good for my health and well-being. But yeah, so this is like, for example, how does adding features work, right? When we've got a massive code base like Swift. Now we're gonna switch like that instead so we don't close it. Yeah, but we can also take a look at code and how to contribute code, right? So we've got the good first issues. This is great, and this is exactly, and this is something that we should all learn about. I don't know how familiar everyone here is with open source. You're more welcome to, share with me in the chat, actually. Have you ever made an open source contribution? Have you ever made a project open source, intentionally or otherwise? Have you had any experiences? I'll talk about my experience with open source while we're here. I have done a couple of open source contributions to mainly pretty small projects, including a couple of ones that are at my school, for a bunch of clubs that I'm a part of, as well as a project that I worked on about a month ago that was open source for Grace Hopper Celebrations Open Source Day. So I'll let everyone in the chat share your open source experiences with me. Are you looking to get acquainted with open source? Maybe you're, I don't know, maybe you're still figuring it out. Maybe you've made a contribution. Yeah. No, but try pull request, merge request with friend. Awesome. GitHub skills and just general Git skills are super important for anything. Whether you're having a group project with friends or end up doing group work assignments or class assignments or anything really, they're super helpful. Ooh, we learned about open source and contributing on projects in past live sessions. Yes, you did. That's exactly what happened. We have a lot of fantastic streams always here at Global Hack Week, including from earlier today, DigitalOcean, supercharging hackathon projects with open source, making your first contribution, data science open source, and we've got more coming up, which is awesome. Oh, I know a bit, but I still feel like a newbie. I think that's totally fair. Honestly, I feel like a newbie. And one of the reasons why I decided to pick this stream topic is because I love Swift, but it seems to me super intimidating to try and get started. So I was like, if I do this on stream, I can't back out. So I said I was going to do it. So it's a great way to get my feet wet. So dip my toes in, So I really, really relate to that feeling. Knowing a little bit, but feeling I'm a little out of it. But yeah, let's talk a little bit about good first issues. So good first issues are bugs, ideas, and tasks that are intended to be accessible for contributors that are new working on the Swift project and even new to patterns and concepts behind set projects such as the Swift compiler, like me. Good first issues are decorated with a corresponding label and are most easily found by visiting example that. Let's see the example. Aha, there you go. Good first issue, right in green. Different little ones. This is really cool. So, same. Although this is a really very cool session. Thanks. That was what I was going for. I wanted to have a good time. So, trying to kind of get, break through our fears, We're gonna get started together, and that'll be fun. We've got totally new to Swift, and Java, Python, C, and more. Very fun. I Out of those languages, which one do I like? Real talk. I like Python. Python's cool. C and I have a complicated relationship, though, from my operating systems classes. Ooh. Okay. But, it is highly recommended that you become familiar with using Swift in your own project before contributing directly to the language itself. That makes sense. We put together handy getting started guides with step-by-step instructions to get you up and running. I guess this is how to install Swift, use Swift. Beautiful. Yes, I love. Learn how to create class platform command line tools such as short-lived interactive programs or long-lived daemons that run in the background. Learn how to create an iOS or macOS application using Swift UI, requires macOS and Xcode. This is what I'm familiar with. This is my domain. Oh, web service using a web framework. Really? Building a web service with Vapor. Nice. Cool. You're telling me I can make websites with Swift? Oh, it's a web server. Ooh. Vapor. Cool. It was very fun. Documentation, things like that. See, this is what you learn something new every day. We're going back a couple tabs, but looking for a language reference, a Swift programming language. The book is available in different languages. Lovely. I do like different languages. Different languages are fun. Let's see here. Incremental development, small incremental changes, small bug fixes, small steps along the path to reaching larger goals. Long-term branches. Incremental development style. Yes. Cool. Commit messages. How to write commit messages well. Single line title and a separate body that describes the change. Concise to be easily read. Changes that are restricted to a specific part of the code. Separate a title from the body by an empty line. Make body concise. Yes. Attribution of changes. We do not want source codes to be littered with random attributions of this code written by J Random Hacker. Yes, so true. Don't commit changes authored by others unless they've submitted change to the project or have been authorized to submit on their behalf. Yes, so true. This is a very good decorum. Don't commit code or anything else other people have written unless they have explicitly told you you can do it. Or, someone sends you a change privately, encourage them to submit it to appropriate list first. Templates, how to write header files. Ooh, C and C++. Yum. Code reviews, 80 characters wide. Yeah, cool. Testing, yes. You should write test cases. At the abstraction level nearest to the actual feature. Reduce the test cases as much as possible. Generally improve quality. Commit access. Yes. Yeah, commit access granted to contributors with a track record of submitting high-quality changes. You have to send an email to the code owners list with the GitHub username that you want and a list of 5 non-trivial pull requests that were accepted without modifications. Makes sense. You'll be able to commit to all of GitHub repositories that host the projects. You're granted commit after approval to all parts of Swift. To get approval, create a pull request. When a pull request is approved, you may merge it yourself. You may commit an obvious change without first getting approval. You may expect to use good judgment. Examples are reverting obviously broken patches, correcting code comments, and other minor changes. And then you're allowed to commit changes without approval to portions of Swift which you've contributed or for which you have been assigned responsibility. Which commits must not break the build. That makes sense. This is a trust by verify policy. Talks about compilers and all these fun things. Well, there we go. So that's a little bit about contributing in Swift. Ooh, we've got comment. I did coding bootcamp with JavaScript and the full stack. I made a couple open source projects. Never worked with Swift before. Ah, awesome. Yeah, no, Swift is fun. It's a really cool language. Like I said, it was my first programming language. I have a really soft spot for it. You can use it for a ton of different things. It's super light. It's easy to learn. It's like kid friendly. Like I don't want to say kid friendly mother approved, but like kid friendly mother approved. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited to get to be working on it with y'all. Ooh, I was here for the DigitalOcean stream around 8 hours ago, and the chat was full of messages as there were more than 800 people. Good to see that people are getting rest. Absolutely. Also, that was right after opening, and everyone's high on spirits, and DigitalOcean's just generally very cool. But also, depending on where you are in the world, it's either early in the morning, or the middle of the night, or late at night, or later at night, or late afternoon. You might be at work, you might be in class, you might be out with friends, you might be taking a nap, you might be going to bed, you might be studying for an exam. That's what I'm gonna be doing after this. So I'm definitely glad. I'm very happy that those of you who are here are here. But if you ever need to drop off and take care of you, be my guest. The chat was so full of messages. Yeah, I like when people are active, but sometimes I get easily overwhelmed and I'm like, ah. So, well, let's see here. Open source is heart. I agree. On this note, I think it's time for me to take a little bit of a brain break. So I'm gonna step out for probably 5 minutes, and then I'm going to back in 5 minutes at, we'll call it 11 p.m. ES. 11:00 Eastern. So we'll go ahead and use this one. Or we'll do at 11. We'll do EST instead of Eastern. We'll do that, like that. And so as I was saying, oh no, it's a 4-minute break. Well, that's okay. I want to get. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna make some tea. It's really cold in here, and I would love some tea. So I'm gonna set my little break for. Thank you. I like the rock background music, but I keep getting distracted. So here's the way it's gonna work. I am gonna head out for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna go make some tea. I'm gonna drink my tea and enjoy it on the stream with you. If you would like to get some tea, you are more than welcome. Now's a fantastic time to go get some tea. And then we'll be back at 11:05, so in 8-ish minutes. And we're gonna pick an issue and we're gonna work on it in this stream. So I will see you all in like roughly 10 minutes, give or take. And looking forward to picking an issue and doing some fun stuff with it. Super exciting. All right, I'm out for a sec. We're back. Hello, everyone. I have my tea from my little Winnie the Pooh mug. It's very adorable. Tea of choice is Earl Grey with honey. And we're back. We're gonna ask any questions in chat in here. Ooh. There we go. Excited for working on an issue. Me too. Hello. Oh, it's so hard. I know. The benefit of the streams, well, I do have good news. The good news are that all of the streams, or pretty much all of the time, we will have the streams available after the fact on YouTube, so you can watch them later, which is super fun. The streams run throughout everyone's night. We've got coaches all over the world. Good thing, bad thing, you can watch them all back. So you will have plenty of content to watch during all waking hours, just in case that strikes your fancy, which is lovely. Is there a 12 o'clock stream at midnight? If you mean midnight as in midnight Eastern time, then the answer is no. We're taking a break for a few hours, and then we're having someone else come in. So we'll be offline for a few hours, but should be... Wait, no, I'm wrong. I lied. Sorry, I can't read. We'll have a stream right at midnight. We're having Chrome Dino. Wait, actually, is that on stream? No, that'll be in the Discord. That'll be in the MLH Discord. And then we'll have another contributing to documentation stream tomorrow morning. As well as Isla Cloud workshops, AppWrite workshops, and things like that. Yeah. And then... Oh yeah, what's the mini event about? Or the contributing to documentation workshops? Because the best way that I suggest to just find out the information is to globalhackweek.mlh.io, and then when you click on events open source, you can see, I'm gonna just pop this link here for your fancy. I don't want an ad for Twitch, please. But you can see, globalhackweek.mlh.io, events open source, and you can see the full schedule. Oh, this website has my face on it. Ooh. Oh, I wasn't prepared for that. Oh my goodness. That was scary. Whew. Okay. But, globalhackweek.mlh.io, events open source. That'll be that. I'm taking Swift at my university for iOS and app development, so it's fun to go over the docs with you. Well, let me tell you. First off, I have a lot of streams I can watch back on YouTube for iOS and app development if you're ever looking to make something fun. And second of all, welcome! I hope you are enjoying it. Just in case you missed me, you can always tune in. This is my first hackathon. I'm a little confused how it works. Well, let me explain. I would say globalhackweek.mlh.io is going to explain what Global Hack Week is best. The little description that I'll read for you real quick is, each month we host Global Hack Week where you can learn new skills, build your portfolio, attend fun sessions, and connect with other hackers in the MLH community. It's free and easy to get started. Sign up right now. So, we also run hackathons, which are 24 to 36 hours, which are slightly different in the way that they operate, in the sense that like you form a team and you build a project within the span of the day. Global Hack Week is more so you learn, you build something, you have fun, you hang out with your favorite MLH coaches and some of the MLH full-timers, and it's a great time. My plan was to build something to add onto my resume to talk about. Well, I hope that goes really well. I love building stuff. So we're gonna get back to business though. You can always ask any questions in the chat. Like I said, I'm looking at it, but we've got an issue to pick. So we'll do that. Let's pick an issue. We're gonna close out of these tabs. Okay, let's see here. This was opened 4 hours ago. We'll talk about decorum. Doesn't look like anyone's working on it right now. Attached member macro, unable to add new cases to an enum. but the enum conforms to a raw value. Expected behavior. Enum with added bar case. I don't know enums well enough for this one, so we're gonna sit out. Let's go for labels. We'll look for a good first issue, because I am new to Swift UI contributions, and we'll see here. So good first issue. We've got, looks like a bunch of people working on them. We can maybe, let's take a look at this one. This is brief insights. Looks like it hasn't been touched in a while, but that's still, want to make sure no one's working on it. This one's got a pull request out. This one's got some comments. Let's see. Ooh. Good first issues. Okay, this one's got a pull request out and an assignee. This one was just opened in 1st September. Are you still working on this issue? So, someone is still working on it, and that's good, so we'll leave that one be. Good decorum, let them figure it out. Compiler error when is standing atop alias of a partially specialized generic type. We've got a bunch of things here. Solve this issue. Looks like people are still working on it, so it's gotta be nice. This one doesn't have an assignee, but let's see if the comments are mentioning. June 11th. The issues look so overwhelming. They really do. But we'll see. I'm sure we can find a good one. If not within the main Swift code base, then we can always go to Swift syntax, testing, doc.c, package manager. There's tons of different places that we could look in. So I'm not too worried. I believe in our ability to find a good issue. So we're looking at this one. Fix it should be praised as imperative action types instead of, yes. Purged. No. I know I want to share this tab instead. Thank you. Oh, I opened it in the new tab. I closed it, which means it's time for a water break. We so got this. I believe in us. We'll find one that works. Let's go back. Share screen. Share the tab. Here we are. Okay. Let's see here. We'll share this tab instead. This one's got a pull request out. Compiler suggests wrong. Pull request is out. Cool. Stop suggesting old style stuff. Let's see here. Let's go into a different code base. View all repositories. Here, we'll share this tab instead. We'll go to this one. Swift syntax. Swift testing. Swift book. Might be able to work on a Swift book. That sounds fun. Swift Markdown is also really fun. Start there. Swift CMark. Swift.org website could also work. Yeah, I think let's start there. So this is Swift.c. Line numbers and code listings. Be helpful to me. I think this is super important features. Shown line numbers and code listings. On line 5, would allow the documentation to be more clear. Would improve the experience. Code listing by name in the documentation surrounding the code listing. That makes sense. Thank you. It's a really pretty color. I enjoy it. The story behind this water bottle is that I lost my old water bottle at the airport, and so I bought this one. But I'm quite happy with my purchase. The water break we all needed deep down. Please, please drink water. It does look like a fire. I love fire hydrants. I think they're really cool. Like they look great. So the water break we all needed deep down. We really did. Take care of yourself. Okay. Line numbers and code listings sounds cool, but I have no idea how to approach it. Add the ability to emit a diagnostic for broken URX link. Doxy doesn't currently have a way to detect dead links. This seems... There's a diagnostic for Doxy. Okay. Make it possible to view... Oh. This is a different error for Doxy. This is for Doxy, right? Okay. Open graph support. I do like the line numbers and code listings. Let's see, Swift syntax. Oh, I gotta share my tab. Sorry, swap it. Oh. Enhancements to macro examples. Nice. I love this music. Improved modeling token nodes. Ooh, you have good first issues. Please, this is a good first issue. Assert macro expansion should emit an issue, an error. If member macro is applied to declaration, they can't have members. When attaching and applying an attached member macro to example of variable, assert macro explanation will currently happily swallow the attribute. It should, however, emit an error that member macros can't be applied to variables, especially if the declaration is not a del group syntax. The following test case should emit an error. Let's see. What about this one? Improve diagnostics mark with 2 do. Okay, we've got some. Got some different ones. Test recovery. Here's a list of tests. Comment on this issue and I'll update the list to assign an issue to you. Good first issue. Swift syntax code base test recovery. It's already done. That's unfortunate. That's okay. And then add documentation for syntax nodes and their children. Yeah, maybe we'll add some documentation. We can do that. Let's see here. We've got a bunch of really good ones in here. 1527 contains an example. Cool. I like this one. I think we can do it. I think we can write some really good documentation today. So we'll do that. Let's see here. 1527. Okay, so I'm going to close out all the other tabs. We're going for it. I've made a decision. So it shall be. And we can also take a look at some of the other pull requests to figure out where this needs to go. I think this is a good first issue. I like it. commits. Let's see. Got some file changes, so it changes the declaration. Yeah, description, I'm assuming. It's added syntax node file, buildable node file. Declaration nodes. Okay, cool. Yes, I like this issue. We're going for it. We're gonna do it. So we've got some cool ones here. So click someone's working on. Oh, mentioned this issue on September 1528. For a few suggestions to my side. Let's merge this. Deleted the add some. For syntax node and their children. Ah, I pressed refresh. So what's the difference? So this is oh, this is just their merge for 1528. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. I see it. Okay, let's try and figure out what all of these are. What is accessor block syntax? Swift. Let's see. Yeah, 1527 contains an example of the documentation could look like. Let's see. Got please test. So that is how you do that. Would be syntax support. All right, let's do it. Let's clone it. We're doing it. And I lost the issue, didn't I? No, I did. Okay. I'm gonna pin it. Pin. And also I'm gonna drop it in the chat so I don't lose it. Wait, this isn't... Yes, this is the issue. Great. Dropping it in the chat. And also, this way, if anyone's feeling brave and adventurous, they can work on it. They can pick one that I'm not working on and we can work on it together. We'll have like a little adventure. That sounds really fun, actually. Break for tea, if you'll excuse me. It's so cold where I'm at right now. Our temperature dipped like crazy. We went from like summer weather to like late fall in like 2 days. And I'm freezing and very cold. Very, very cold. There we go. There we go. Yes. Beautiful. Let's do it. So, let's go to the repository here. I've got that guy pinned, right? Yes. That's sharing. That's good. Let's go to code. I've got it dropped in the chat so I don't lose it. Make a fork. Swift syntax. Yes. I will add my own branch on my fork. That's fine. Create a fork. And yes, we'll let it do its thing. It's exciting. Woo! Off we go. Here we are. Beautiful. Swift syntax. You can read Swift syntax documentation on this page. Yes. A great is to do it. Yes. Releases, reporting issues, contributing. Let's see the guide just in case. Building and testing. Cool. Swift syntax is a Swift PM package that can build and test things that performance packages, opening in a text code, formatted using. Authoring commits. Cool. Review and CI testing. Additional verification. Cool, cool. Oh, I'm sharing the wrong tab again. I do this all the time. Okay, let's see here. So we'll go ahead and contribute to it. That's where you can read it. Let's figure out how to get this thing working, huh? Let's clone it. We'll start there. We'll CD to my documents folder, and then let me see. So if I go to my documents, oh no, because isn't it an iCloud drive? So let me CD. Woo. Yes. And then my MLH folder. I have a little MLH folder. CD MLH. Please. Thank you. Okay, so we've got that, and then let's do. Well, I should share my terminal, shouldn't I? This is where it gets tough. Okay. Let me share my little terminal. Hi, terminal. Share. Do git clone. Sorry. Git clone my URL, please. Cloning into the thing. Doing the thing. Here we are, resolving it, and there we are. Okay, let's see. How do I build it? So we can open it in Xcode. So let's try that. I'm gonna stop sharing my screen, start sharing my little Finder window. We'll hop into Swift syntax here. Here we are. How do I open it? It's a great question. Maybe I can go into Xcode instead. In the terminal, I can share my screen. And once Xcode opens, clearly, because it's going to take its sweet time, as it likes to. Xcode, yes. Hi, Xcode. Share. Ta-da. Ooh, can you share your GitHub profile? I sure can. Give me 1 second. You can send me a follow. I'll also send in the announcement I make for tomorrow's stream, which, fun fact, we'll have a stream tomorrow at the exact same time. So you can join me, and we'll actually jump into issue first off. But this is moi. If you're looking for me. There she is. So yeah. You can go ahead and see my info, or like, you know, see any comments that I make or anything like that. But the actual repository that I'm working on currently is going to be this guy. That's might be more helpful. But yeah, your favorite Kari from MLH, clearly. And then, okay, let's go. I want to open. I gotta go into MLH. Gotta open. What? Oh my goodness, I have 2 folders called MLH. I would. No. No. Sorry, Xcode. Yes, I broke you. My bad. Can you file? Can I see the welcome to Xcode window again? I broke StreamYard. No. Present. Share screen. Window. StreamYard. There you go. Hi, StreamYard. Ta-da! Okay. Open existing project. And you can't even see it. So we're going into not this MLH. We're going into the one that's in iCloud Drive, and then documents, and then that documents, and then this, and then this one. This, what I want to open. And now we can present my screen again, as while this little guy loads. To stage. Okay. Okay, sure. Here we are. Ooh, she looks pretty. Let's see here. We'll have to, I'm assuming, increase the font at some point of this guy, but we'll worry about that in a second. Right now, we're gonna let it do its thing. Process some files, get this thing set up. We might just be able to really figure out where we're gonna be making changes today. But that is a-okay. I don't... Xcode, Xcode, really? Feels a little sketch. That's okay. It just asked me if it can have access to my calendar. I trust little Xcode though, so it's okay. I have this little candle in my apartment right now. I won it at an event. Well, I didn't win it at an event. I got it at an event as a gift. It's a really nice candle. It's called Beach Cottage. It has top notes of bergamot, sandalwood, marine, plumeria, musk, sea air, tonka bean, and amber. What event is this? That is a great question. And I have an answer for, I hope. Sure. Oh, silly me. Okay. This is Swift Open Source Contributions Part 1. We're about an hour and a half through. Got about 30 minutes remaining, probably a little bit less. Want to make sure that the next person hops on very much on time. And it'll be an exciting... It's already been an exciting and fun stream. I think everyone who's here has been having fun. You've been having fun. But I'm excited to... We're just getting into our code base. We've spent a lot of time talking about Swift and open source and answering questions and making tea and having a good time. Package. Nice. Nice. Okay, cool. It's still loading and processing files, which I'm sure is going to take a second. So I'm going to let it kind of do its thing. But in the meantime, I do want to find where this code would exist. So let's do that real quick. That involves me being able to... No, I don't want to put myself in timeout. Oh. Did I lose the issue? Oh, did I think I lost the issue. No! No! It's okay. I'll find it. No, this is my own. Swift uses nil instead of null. That is correct. Well, is it? I'm pretty sure it is. Let me double check that before I say something no. It's... yeah. Or, technically... there is both nil and null. No. No, there's no null in Swift. I'm lying. It's effectively no value. Like, it's slightly different than, like, a null pointer would be in, say, C++. But it's not... yeah, it's different than like a null pointer would be, but it's just, it represents the absence of a value, effectively. Which could be the same thing as a null pointer, but does not always have to be the same thing as a null pointer. Because a null pointer could also represent, like, nothingness, rather than the absence of something. Which is a weird kind of philosophical tangent that we cannot get on right now. Yes, I need to go to Apple Swift syntax, and I need to find issue... What was the number? 1528? 28? Yes! Hooray! I found it. Okay. And then it's... let's take a look. 1527. We've got some... So it's in code generation sources and sources that this will live. So let's find those files. We've got... So we've got CMake. No relation. But funny joke. I appreciate. Sources. Swift syntax. Uh-huh. Generated. Syntax nodes. Ooh. Ooh, it's still thinking about it. Considering how beefy my computer is, the fact that it's taking so long, kind of scary. But that's okay. Oh, I should not have scrolled. Ooh, it's really taking its time. That's a-okay. Yeah, so Swift syntax right in there. And it's in code generation / sources. Where's code generation though? Maybe I can look for syntax support. No, I don't want to find text containing. Or actually, I could. So, I'm assuming if I go into the code here, it's gonna be somewhere in here. Code generation, yeah. So why do I not have a code generation folder? Am I missing something? Generation sources. I don't have a code generation folder, sources. And then syntax support. And then, yeah, okay, so no, I do. So what is that about? Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna let it still. Oh, it's taking its sweet time processing these files, which is fine. Fun, but fine. So let's see here. Tea break. Those of you who are coming in, we're waiting for stuff. When it gets settled, I'm hiding in my blanket. I'm enjoying my tea. If you're just joining us, please drop your favorite tea in the chat. Whatever type of tea you enjoy, do tell. Because that would be nice to know. I like Earl Grey with honey, which is ironic because I'm drinking out of a Winnie the Pooh cup. Although the back of my cup says enjoy the little things. Here. There you go. Hold on. Y'all can see it. Enjoy the little things. It's very cute. I got it from my mom. Which, thanks, Mom. We got the clear name, syntax. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Ooh, chamomile. That's a fun one. Kemoon tea. What is Kemoon tea? Maybe I... Oh, nice. Okay, I just looked it up while I'm waiting. That's a good... I enjoy black teas. And a lot of... I feel like, I don't know, I feel like there's a... No, don't go away. Xcode, come back. Ah, hi. Hello. How you doing? How's it going? Alright, let's see here. Why does the Swift syntax... Why does opening the Swift syntax library not show the code generation test folder? Out of curiosity, of course. Uh-huh. But I can also, you know, I can take a look at some of these. Like 1527. Uh-huh. So it would be not in code generation source, but maybe in sources. So it would be in Swift syntax builder. Let's see. So sources, Swift syntax builder, and then it would be in generated, and then buildable nodes, right? Yes. We've got a ton. Hi. And I'm assuming you belong to the initializer DECL syntax. This computer really does not like this file. Jeez. F E, F, G, G, M. What? What happened to H and I? Yeah, if expression syntax. Yes. I'm not if expression, I'm initialized declaration syntax. That's the one I'm looking for. I want to make sure they didn't get rid of it at some point. Inheritance, initialized declaration syntax. Okay. Oh, so they did. So they added this body is optional because this node also represents initialized requirements inside protocols. A lot of really intimidating code. I don't know what any of that does. And that is okay, because we're learning together. Let's see. It allows initializing syntax collections, which is something that I don't know, using result builders, which I also don't know. And that's a-okay. But let's see here. We've got... You know, the good thing about code being intimidating, though, is that it's also interesting that way. We're learning new stuff. So it looks like in initializer, but this PR is merged, so why can I not see it? Especially because unless it was merged in April, and then they decided, like, nah. Okay, so let me try and find in oh my goodness, syntax, and then generated, and then syntax nodes, right? Oh, I'm assuming these are, yes. Right, because it would make sense that these are in alphabetical order. Yep. Because let's see. This is the decal modifier syntax. And then the decal name argument syntax. Isn't that the one that I'm looking for? No, I lost my website. Go back, come back. I'm looking for syntax dec nodes.swift. Wait, no, but that's not the name of the file. I'm looking for initializer decal syntax. Oh, that could be under I. What IDE do I use? This is Xcode. The reason why I use Xcode is because I associate it with Swift. Why do I associate Xcode with Swift? Because I mostly make mobile apps. You can use any IDE, really. For building mobile apps on iOS, you want to be using Xcode unless you're not building a native iOS app, in which case you want to be using something else. Not import declarative syntax. Initialized is import LMN. So no, import is before initialized. So that's good. Okay. Import again, in out, infix, inheritance, inherited, initializer, declarative syntax. Okay, so we found the documentation. So that's what it looks like. Do a lot of these guys have it, or no? Not really. Cool. Okay, so we found where we need to fix things. Awesome. Yeah, I use Xcode for this stuff. Why? Because like I said, I associate Xcode with Swift because I mostly use mobile apps, and if you're building any iOS mobile app or some other watchOS or tvOS or macOS, you want to run it on a simulator or the specific device, it just helps. And then also I use Xcode because, I don't know, it feels homey. You can use Visual Studio Code, there's Swift plugins for it. If you end up wanting to do your own Swift open source contributions. And also Xcode is only available on Mac devices, which is important. But it'd be how it be. Let's see. We've got only about 5 minutes until we're gonna need to hop off. Probably closer to 10 minutes. before we're gonna need to hop off and get the stream ready for the next people coming in. Or actually, no, because that's on Discord. I keep forgetting. So we've got time. We've got like 14 minutes. So we can, let's go back to our page here. We'll go back to add documentation for this. Number 1527, yes. It needs to be linked to issue, right? Or do I need to go back instead? Not me yawning. Sorry. I woke up early today. Oh, I forgot to get... And I forgot to share my screen. Oh, new question. A question I have opinions on. Strong opinions. As you can tell, I generally have strong opinions, but this one I have strong opinions on. How do you use Kotlin? If yes, which one do you prefer, Swift or Kotlin? I will say this. I've known Swift and I've made iOS apps with Swift storyboards and Swift UI. Swift UI, I learned it about the last year. Swift storyboards I've known for about 5. But I was in high school then, so I mostly made fun, silly little apps and things like that. So do with that information what you will. Kotlin I've only done for about 2 months. There are things that I like and dislike about both. Swift with storyboards feels a lot more similar to me than like Kotlin with the manifest XML file. But Swift with storyboards is also awful with version control, with like multiple groups of projects, unless you're using like programmatic Swift to build out your storyboard, which high school me was not. That being said, version control specifically with multiple people, or at least where the issues start coming in. Like I remember my first hackathon and we tried to make a mobile app and how many version control issues we were running into like the entire weekend. So Kotlin, I like Kotlin. I'm having a good time with it so far. Android is the bigger market, especially out like effectively everywhere outside of the US. Android is the bigger market, so I enjoy building Android apps as much as iOS apps. I enjoy having people use my stuff. So I think that helps. I think there is a case for knowing both, and something cross-platform benefits for knowing Kotlin or knowing some approach that's Android specific or iOS specific generally helps, right? But also, I really like Swift UI though. I love. I am in love with Swift UI. I love the Swift UI previews. I know Android a lot, like Android Studio allows for you to like do previews with the XML file and see the general layout. Completely different beast than Swift UI previews, in my opinion. Like the Xcode Swift UI previews. Lower barrier to entry for Android, largely because you don't need a Mac. Macs run expensive. They're big, beefy computers, but for what it's worth, I like both. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing for work. I'm currently exploring jobs in both, so whee! Anyway, I keep getting distracted. Yes. Syntax issues 1528. Let's think about... Okay, we're going to do this in the last 5 minutes we have here. We're going to look through these syntax nodes that are in these files, and we're going to pick one that we can kind of sort of understand. And then on Tuesday, tomorrow, at the exact same time that I started today, we'll be starting tomorrow. We'll be doing a nice little live stream. I'll probably be more tired because I've got an exam, but that is okay. Android has no jetpack control systems, so do I into the previews. Lovely. That sounds much nicer. I don't like recompiling my projects. It's also why I don't know. I'm also anti-web dev, which is funny. Not web dev. I enjoy web development. I enjoy front end, I enjoy back end, I enjoy full stack, but like mobile's my jam. I don't know, I enjoy it. More fun. Anyway, let's keep scrolling and not getting distracted, Kari. Although that's my name of the game, so I know what it is. Actor declarative syntax. Yes. Oh, array. What about array element syntax? An element inside an array literal. We'll go for... Yeah, I think we could crank out just some array ones. I like arrays. I know what arrays are. Well, we'll do that. Let's take a look here. So, it's contained in an array element list syntax. It has parameters. Cool. Okay. Yeah, so it's like an element inside an array. If anyone needs a big schedule, yes, that is a great point. You should be able to go to globalhackweek.mlh.io/schedule and see all of the lovely, lovely things we've got going on for the rest of the day. In the meantime, though, we're almost out of time. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to declare this. I'm going to put it out there. We're gonna work on array element syntax on Tuesday. By that, I mean tomorrow. That is tomorrow for me, and it may not be tomorrow for you. In 22 hours, I will be back, and we will make a contribution. And then on Wednesday, I'll be back. Very early morning, because your girl's got to go on vacation, which is fun. I am excited for vacation, though. But before I leave for vacation, we're working. You know, very important. But we'll have a morning thing, and then it'll be fun, and we'll have a good time. Morning for me, not morning for you. Maybe morning for you. I don't know when's morning for you. But you can catch me in 22 hours from now, and then in how many hours is it? It's like 8 hours after. So in 30. In 22 hours and in 30 hours, I'll be starting a new stream. So, if you enjoyed today's stream, part 2 will not really build on part 1. So if you've got friends that want to start, they can just come join us. You know, no issues. It'll be fun. We'll build some stuff. And yeah, yes, Chrome Dino game will start on Discord, like responded in the chat. Thank you very much. I've just got one. I'm just gonna get out of the way before I go enjoy my vacation. And then good morning to you too. All right. I am gonna, thank you. All right, we're gonna close it out. We're gonna close out my little tabs. We're gonna close out this ID before my computer starts doing the buzzing thing. And then we are going to, thank you. Yes, you too. Have a wonderful rest of your day and a great time wherever you happen to be in the world today. I'm glad you did. I had a good time. I'm excited to build stuff tomorrow. It was good, like, to dig through issues, really understand documentation, and also talk to a lot of people who might not be familiar with Swift, which is awesome. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do the thank you for joining, and then we are going to do. We're just gonna do a little fun one. I don't know. We could do like the little logo in the top. Ooh, yeah. And then we've got, I don't know what else. That's it, really. Cool. And I can add a background. Ooh, yes, background. I like the star one. We'll do the star one. So, yes, thank you so much for coming. Like I mentioned, tomorrow, or not necessarily, yes, tomorrow, I think, tomorrow everywhere, really. Unless you're on, like, the one time zone where it's, like, midnight right now, and it's gonna be, like, 10 p.m. by the time we start, but, like, you know what I'm saying? In 22 hours, part 2. In 30 hours, part 3. I will see you all there. We'll build some cool stuff. we learned a lot today. So that is exciting. Um, and we love it. Thank you all. Have a great rest of your day and have, I don't know, enjoy some tea. Go get a cool snack. Have a good day, you know? Have some fun. And I will see you all in the next one.